Hello guys, my name is Dennis Kadir. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is an introduction video to Paint 2D. So if you haven't used Paint 2D before, Paint 2D is a pre-installed application that comes with Windows. It enables you to create designs in 2D and 3D formats. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Paint 3D. At least I'm going to show you the basics. So first of all, we are going to launch the app, and to launch the app, you are going to go over to your taskbar, and then on the search field, you are going to search for Paint 2D. So when the search is done, you are going to find the Paint 2D app as the best match. So you are going to click on open to launch it. So when the Paint 2D app is open, this is what you are going to see. It's going to bring you to the Paint 2D homepage. So right here you have two buttons. The first one, which is labeled new, is to create a new project, while the other one, which is labeled open, is to create an existing project. That is, if you have a project you have worked on before in the past on Paint 3D, you can open it directly from here. But right now I'm going to be creating a new project, so I'm going to hit on this new button. So when I hit on the new button, it's going to bring me to the Paint 3D workspace. So right here, as you can see, I have my canvas, and at the top right here, I have different buttons. So if I click on any of the buttons, you observe that a panel that is associated with the buttons will open on the right hand side of the screen. So the first thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to show you how to import a picture in Paint 3D. So to do that, you are going to head over to the menu button at the top left corner of your screen. So when you hit on the menu button, you are going to hit on the insert button. So when you hit on the insert button, you are going to get this window. So right here, select the location where you have the picture you want to insert. So after selecting the location, you are going to select the picture you want to insert, and then you go ahead and click on the open button down here. So when the picture is inserted on Paint 3D, you see that the canvas takes the shape and size of the picture. So right here, you can adjust the size of the picture. You can reduce it if you want to, or increase it, or you leave it the way it is. And on the right hand side of the screen, you have the 2D selection panel open. So right here, you can cut the image, you can copy the image, you can rotate it, and you can also flip the image down here. So when you are done formatting the picture and you're satisfied with what you have, you can go ahead and click away from the picture to deselect it. So when you deselect the picture becomes part of the canvas, and you can no longer select this picture. So whatever changes or whatever formats you apply to this picture becomes permanent. You cannot change it. So if you feel like making any changes to the picture, maybe the picture is not well positioned and you want to position it well, what you can do is to reinsert the picture or re-import the picture. Or you can just simply go to the top right corner of your screen and click on the undo button to undo whatever it is you have done. Or you can press the Ctrl Z on your keyboard to undo and the Ctrl Y to redo. Or you can simply hit on this history button. When you do that, you can simply drag this back to undo, and you can also drag it forward to redo. So another thing you can do is to crop. So when you hit on this crop button right here, so right here you can crop the image to your preferred size. Or you go over to the crop panel right here. So right here you have different default frame size you can choose from. So I'm just going to go with this 16:9 here. So when I'm done choosing my frame size, I'm going to click on done. So if you look at the top of the screen right here, the first button we have there is the brushes button. So when you select the brushes button at the right hand side of the screen right here, you see the different type of brush you can select from to work on your document or your project. So you can select any of these brushes right here. So when you select any of the brush, down here you can choose how thick you want your brush to be. And also you can adjust the opacity of your brush. And down below you can choose a color for your brush. So you can choose any of the colors right here. You can also use this eyedropper tool right here to select or to sample a color from anywhere on your canvas. So let's say for instance, I'm going to sample this color right here. Let's say this green. So when I do that, I can paint with my brush on my canvas. So the next button we have there is the 2D shapes. So when you hit on the 2D shapes, once again a panel appears on the right hand side of the screen. So right here you can insert lines and curves. You can also insert 2D shapes. So let's say for instance I want to insert a line. I can simply click on the line button, and I'm simply going to go over to my canvas, and then I'm going to click and drag. So here I have my line. So immediately I draw my line, you observe that a new panel appears on the right hand side of the screen. So right here I can choose a color for my line. I can change this from black to red. I can also choose how thick I want my line to be. I can also adjust the opacity. And right here on the line, I can duplicate this line by hitting on the stamp button right here. So when I hit on the stamp button, you observe that the line duplicates. So when you are satisfied with your line and you want to apply it, you can simply click on this commit button right here at the end to apply it. So one thing you should note about 2D shapes is that whenever you apply a shape on your canvas, that shape becomes permanent. You can no longer select that shape or do anything to that shape. So make sure that before you apply a shape, the shape is well positioned on your canvas in the way you want it to be. The only way I can edit the shapes is when I apply them. For instance, let's say I apply this circle right here, and then on the left hand side of the screen you get the panel again. So if you want to be able to edit the shape after application, you can simply convert it to a 3D shape. So when you hit on the 3D shape, you see it will convert immediately. So right now I can rotate this however I want. I can do whatever it is that I can do on a 3D object. So if I deselect it, I can come back to it and it will be selected again. So immediately I converted this shape into a 3D shape. You observe that the 3D selection panel appears. So right now I can convert this shape into a sticker by hitting on this make sticker button. So right there you have the circle shape as a sticker right there. So the next button up there is the 3D shapes. So when you hit on the 3D shapes, once again a panel appears on the right hand side of the screen. So right here I have 3 categories. I have 3D doodles, I have 3D objects, and I have 3D models. So this 3D doodle is similar to the 2D lines. So if I click on this tube brush right here, right down here I get to choose the shape of my tube. So I have different options to choose from. Let's say I'm going to go with this one. And then right here I can select how thick I want my tube to be. And also I can select a taper for my tube. So right here I have different tapers. I have big to small, I have small to big, I have big, small to big, blah blah blah. So I have different tapers right here. So if I select this taper right here, so if I draw this, you see how thick it is at the bottom right there. So if I continue to draw, the more I draw, the thinner it becomes at the tip. So you observe that when I continue drawing, at some point it stops. That is because these tapers have a default length they get to. So when it gets to the length, it stops. So right now, as you can see on the tapers, you have these different nodes you can use to adjust the shapes of your doodle. So you have different tapers right here. You can experiment on them to see how they work. So after the 3D doodle, you have the 3D object. So you can apply 3D objects to your canvas. So right here on the 4 corners of the object, you have 3 different buttons you can use to rotate the objects in different axes. So right here we have the Z axis. We also have the X axis right here. And down below we have the Y axis. So with this Z axis position, you can define how far you want your objects to be from the canvas. You can make it be in the canvas, you can make it be behind the canvas, you can make it be in front of the canvas using the Z axis position. So under the 3D selection panel right here, you can change the color of your object. So let's say I'm going to change this to yellow. You can also do different things right here. You can also cut your object, copy it, rotate the object right here, as well as flipping the object. So unlike the 2D shapes, when you deselect a 3D shape, you can come back to it to select it and do whatever it is you want with it. So under the 3D models, you have different models. You have the model of a man, you have the model of a woman, you also have that of a dog, a cat, and a fish. So let's say I apply one of them right here. You can also apply 2D shapes on 3D objects. So to do that, you're going to go over to your 2D shapes. So let's say I'm going to select a line right here, and then I'm going to draw on my 3D object. So right here you see how the 2D objects modes on my 3D objects. I can also apply stickers to the object. So when I go to my stickers and then select something, I can apply this. So if you find this video helpful so far, please do well to subscribe to my channel and also turn on post notifications so you get notified when I post a new video. Thank you. So as you can see right here, I applied 2D shapes on my 3D objects, and you see how it blends to the objects, and I can treat them all as one. So the next button we have there is the sticker. You can apply stickers to your objects like I did just now. Up next, we have the text button. So you can apply your text in 2D format and 3D format. So I'm going to select the 3D format. So at the bottom right here, you get to choose the fonts you want. So I'm going to go with this right here. And then you can also choose your font size, choose your font color. You can also make your text bold. You can underline it, and you can also make it italics. Down here, you can set the alignment for your text. So after doing all the settings you want, you can go over to your canvas, and then you are going to click on it, and then you can go ahead and type whatever it is you want to type. So I'm going to type in Dennis Kadiri right here. So because this is a 3D text, I can deselect it and also come back and select it. So I can also rotate it in different axes. So up next, I have the effects buttons. With the effects buttons, you can change the look of your project environment. So if I select something like this right here, you see how the environment there changes. So right here, you have different filters you can apply. So down here, you have the light wheel, so you can rotate this to any angle you want. So I'm going to switch this back to normal. I'm going to click on this one right here. So that's it. So the next button there, we have the canvas button. With the canvas button, you can control your canvas. You can switch your canvas on, you can switch it off if you want to. So I'm going to leave this right here. So next we have the 3D library. So under the 3D library, you have access to different 3D models. So you have different categories right here. We have latest 3D collections, we have space, we have dinosaurs, we have animals. So I'm going to click on animals right here. So you have different animals right here on your list you can work with. So I'm going to select, let's say this one. So you are going to give it a moment for it to load. So after loading, you see that it applies to your canvas. So that's it right there. That's your 3D model. So you can do whatever it is you want on this. So that's it, guys. So when you are done with your project, you can export your project or save your project by going over to your menu button at the top left corner of your screen. So when you hit on it, you are going to go ahead and hit on the Save As button. So when you hit on the Save As button, you have different options right here. You can save it as an image, as a 3D model, as a video. So down here, you can save it as a Paint 3D project, more like a document on your system, so that you can come back to it to edit it or make changes to it. Up here, if you save it as an image, 3D model or video, you are basically exporting your project. So I'm going to save mine right now as an image. So I'm going to go ahead and hit on the image button right here. So right here on the left hand side of the screen, you can choose whatever format you want. So I'm going to go with JPEG. So after selecting the format, you can go ahead and click on save. So after clicking on save, right here, you select the location where you want your file to be saved. And then you can also give it a name right here. So I'm going to save this as Paint Tutorial. And then I'm going to click on save. So when you are done, you can go over to your location where you saved your file or your picture, and then you can click on it. So there it is right there. So that's it for this video, guys. That's how to use Paint 3D, at least the basics. So if you find this video helpful, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also turn on post notifications so you get notified when I post a new video. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.